Have you ever wondered why you value a friendship or why you get out of or what you get out of that friendship? Or maybe we frequently ask ourselves why we actively still participate in a relationship. The social exchange theory is a theory people apply to their relationships without even thinking about it at times. My goal is to share the details of the social exchange theory and inform my audience of who created this theory. A sociologist named George Homans claimed this theory. According to Social Forces, Volume 41, George Homans has been studying social behavior since the 50s and published many papers regarding it. We have all had trouble in relationships, and this is when we begin to ask ourselves if we are receiving the same energy or benefiting as much as we are contributing. I use credible sources that have been peer reviewed as my factual evidence supporting my points. For example, I use our book that has been peer reviewed as my factual evidence by Ronald B. Adler and Lawrence B. Rosenfeld. Adler is a professor of communications at Santa Barbara City College, where he focuses his time on interpersonal communications. Rosenfeld is also a professor of communication studies and author of many articles and information regarding communications. Each point will inform the audience of the theory, how it works, applications, and also limitations, including any new information being done to give the theory more depth. The first step is understanding the theory and its definition. The theory of social exchange is something people most often relate to and notice how the theory could be fairly accurate. According to Interplay by Ronald B. Adler, the approach suggests we look for people who give us rewards in our relationships and also greater than or equal to the amount of effort or energy we put into the relationship. For this reason, we are constantly weighing the pros and cons of our relationship and evaluating if we still have the desire to stay or speak up when not satisfied once done evaluating. We each have rewards we desire from a relationship, and this could be described as anything that fills our wants or outcomes we hope to receive from the relationship. Any examples of these desires might be material things like expensive cars, houses, or a nice job. Or they might be emotional desires, someone who is emotionally there for you, a person who is wholesome, well-rounded. A person with these traits is more likely to be a person you want in a relationship because these people are giving back equal amounts of energy. Now that we know a little bit about the theory, the second step in understanding is to know the applications and limitations regarding the theory. The theory of social exchange could be applied in different occupations or studies. For example, social exchange could be applied in business marketing. In order to do well, the business must take care of their investment. However, psychologists see relationships functioning in the realm of social exchange. People measure the health of their relationship by the amount of energy they are circled around, the amount they are sending and receiving in exchange. And another example of how the theory could be applied is if a person you are not close to asks you for help. For example, they were moving and they asked you if you can help them with that. Then when you evaluate the current state of the relationship and the rewards potentially available, this is when someone would decide if they have the plans to pursue or deepen the relationship or not. If they do not have plans to further the relationship, they are most likely to say no. The limitations of social exchange are cutting off a person when feeling undervalued because you might be giving more than the relationship is benefiting you. However, the relationship has always been beneficial in the past until now. Instead of the person confronting the individual about how they feel, it is sometimes easier to cut the person off. Lastly, we could inform ourselves of new research being done on the theory. The theory has had beneficial outcomes in the workplace between employees and also supervisors. According to Social Behavior and Personality, which is an international journal, says the social exchange theory had a positive effect on employee loyalty to their supervisor and developmental feedback. This is one example of the benefits social exchange theory has on relationships. Finally, we have a clear understanding of the social exchange theory and how it works. Now, to summarize, overall, we could see how people practically use social exchange theory in every day. and how we measure our relationships value. We simply subtract the amount of effort we are giving by the benefits we are receiving, which equals total cost. We understand now that social exchange theory is and examples of its application, social exchange theory and the examples of its applications and limitations. And lastly, the positive effects it has on the relationships and employees and supervisors. I challenge us all I challenge us all to constantly ask ourselves if we are being good senders and giving equally to what we are receiving, and to continue to inform all your interpersonal relationships about this theory in order to build long-lasting healthy relationships.